Hello there, and welcome back. It's been a while, but you guys seem to like it when I do these videos. A lot of people seem to agree with me, which is good to see. I'm glad that I have some good reasoning about something nowadays. So yeah, as you can probably see on the screen now, I'm doing the season 3 bladers this time, from Cho-z or Turbo or whatever you want to call it. Season 3 of Beyblade Burst. Now, I completely forgot how I ranked the bladers in my last two videos because I'm an idiot. So for this one, I'm going to be doing it based on them as a blader, their bay, and everything else. So everything that comes with it. So their power, their skill, their experience, their base performance, their parts, everything that I can think of, I'm going to be taking it into account. So on the screen now, like your main bladers. And before I carry on, I apologize if there is any background noise. My gerbils like to just ruin everything I do when I'm trying to talk or listen to anything. So I apologize about that. But back to what I was saying. Yeah, I've got all the main bladers down here, as you can see. Without stopping it anymore, let's just carry on. So the first one I have here is Eigen. Obviously, Eigen is S tier. Like it's just it's so obvious that Eigen is S tier. He's top 3. In fact, the last video that I put out on the channel was the top 5 bladers in Cho-z. So if you watch that, you should have been expecting this. That Eigen is S tier, like hands down. He's very adaptable. He's powerful. He is just dumb. A lot of people don't like him because of that. I love him because of that. But let's just move on because there's not really much to talk about Eigen. It's just kind of obvious that he would be there. So the next one is Hyde. So Hyde's a bit different because he completely stopped blading after his bag got destroyed by Phoenix in like episode 43, I think. And if you hear the statements, if you like watch the episode again, he even said that Phi was toying with him.
How long will you drag this out? As long as it takes for me to take back what I've lost. So what are you after?
So clearly Phi was not going all out against him in that battle. So it's clear to see that Hyde wasn't on the same level that Phi was when he had revived Phoenix. And that was earlier on, like way before Eigen battled him. So he's definitely not in the same league as Eigen in S tier. So I'm thinking A or B. Now, he is still really powerful. He put up a very good fight against Eigen when he first got Cho-z Achilles, and Volt when he first got Cho-z Valkyrie. Or Valtriac, whatever you want to call him. So I'm going to put him in A for now because he is powerful and his bay does have a lot of attack power. Obviously Dead Hades is a really good bay in the anime. Maybe not in real life, but in the anime he's shown to be a really strong, capable bay. So I'm going to put him in A tier for now. That might change later on. Heijino, I think I forgot his name. I just know his bay. Archer Hercules, obviously. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't like Heijino in the anime. I don't like Archer Hercules in the anime. I don't like Archer Hercules in general. And let's be completely honest, he was knocked out by Eigen in the Luminor Cup. I think it was the quarterfinals. I think. He beat Heijino, well this guy, and then he beat Suo, and then he versed Louis. So yeah, and then he was in the Battleship Cruise. He scored a couple points. He didn't win anything huge. He was eventually knocked out in the battle against Suo and Eigen, which Suo ended up winning. So yeah, he's not that powerful. He's not that skilled, and worst of all, his bay lost a life after death battle against Hell Salamander. Hell Salamander has the Operate Driver, which has meh life after death. So the fact that you have the Eternal Driver and lose to that, you deserve to be in D tier. And no, I'm not joking, that this is legit where I'm putting him. I don't think he deserves to go any higher because he doesn't show anything that any other blader can't do. So I will rearrange it all at the end. If he's like your favorite blader and you think he should go in S tier, then put a comment. But I don't like him. I don't think he deserves to be any higher. So I'm going to quickly move on to Kyle. Now, Kyle started off a trend where basically they would make brand new characters to like use the new evolutions of old bays. So obviously Kyle was only in season 3. He wasn't in any earlier season, but he got Hazard Cabayas, which is obviously the evolution of the Cabayas bay, which was previously owned by Ken. He sort of started that trend, if I believe, and I don't mind Kyle. I actually quite like his character. I think he's decently powerful. Yeah, he was sort of pushing around, you know, Eigen and Ranjuro in the Battleship Cruise and that sort of stuff. After that, he wasn't in much. He did versus Eigen again once in the Dread Tower, where he lost. And that was when Eigen was using Z Achilles. So he's not, in terms of like power, he's definitely not on Hyde and nowhere near Eigen. In terms of power, he's probably around CB. His last battle was against Free, which he was a huge idiot. Like, if he thought he could battle with Free and win, he deserves to go in D tier as well. But he's definitely a better overall blader than the Archer guy. So I think I'm going to stick him in C tier for now. He's got some power. His main gimmick for his bay is useful in battles, but as Eigen showed in his battle, there are weak points where that gimmick doesn't work.
No way, that actually worked!
Yeah, he aimed for his weak spot and caught him off guard.
And as Free showed, that gimmick can be overwhelmed. You can punch through that gimmick.
So tough. What's going on? My defense isn't working! How's this happening? How were you able to break through chain protection?
So I'm going to put him in C tier for now, and that might change later on. A blader that's definitely higher than C-No is Lubun. I don't care what you call him. I don't even know his name properly. I love this character. He is amazing. I want his bay in real life so bad. All seriousness though, because I have to try and do this non-biased. In the anime, he is very powerful. I think like the Supreme Four weren't like the Supreme Four in season 1, where like the Supreme Four in season 1, they were like we kept being reminded about how good they were, and Volt versed every member and was on the same level as 2 of them and beat the other 2. But the Turbo Four in season 3, you know, Phi, Hyde, Luban, and Xavier, they really didn't get the attention they deserved. At least, you know, the 3 out of 4 didn't. But if you rewatch the Cho-z anime again, this guy was, you know, going toe-to-toe with Eigen and his Cho-z Achilles in like episode 47 or something. It's around that point to help him train for Phi. And he won a battle and then lost a battle. Well, he definitely doesn't have the power on Eigen's level. And I don't think Vice Leopard as a bay is as powerful as Cho-z Achilles. It's still a strong bay combination, and I wouldn't say he's very skilled either, but his main tactic of just, you know, biting the opposing bay and lobbing it across the stadium does seem to work. You can't argue with his results. So I'm going to stick him in A tier above Hyde, because I do think that if these 2 fought in the anime, you know, Hyde in his last battle and Luban from his last battle, I do think Luban would win. So I'm going to stick him in A tier for now. Move on to another one of my favourite characters in the anime, Ranjuro. People hate this guy because obviously he replaced Rantaro and people don't like Rantaro and, you know, laugh at him because he's weak or whatever. I think Ranjuro is so much better than Rantaro is in season 1 and 2. I think he did the Ragnarok Bay justice, and I think he's just overall a better character. I'm going to stick him in B tier already, and I'm going to tell you why. For starters, he uses Ragnarok way differently to Ranjuro. So Ranjuro always uses it defensively, and... no, sorry. Yeah, Rantaro uses the Bay defensively. Ranjuro has the reach frame, which you see him use in the anime against Eigen in the Luminor Cup. He uses it against Eigen to dish out some decent damage, which already is like smarter than like 90% of the things that Rantaro did. So he is a smart blader. He knows the strengths and weaknesses of Crash Ragnarok, his Bay. And in the Battleship Cruise, he came up with a special move that was actually giving Xavier some trouble. And we all know how strong Xavier was. So the fact that Ranjuro was giving him a hard time in the battle, you know, does show that he was skilled enough to know when to fight and when to flee. So for those reasons, I am going to put him in B. Maybe I am being a little bit biased, and maybe I am, you know, bumping up his score a bit too much. But I think that he's got a very respectable power, and I think his skills and special moves are also very respectable. Another blader I'm going to put in B straight away is Suo. I don't think I need to talk much about this guy, because I think everyone that watches the anime probably remembers Suo a lot more than most of these characters. Obviously, he's the owner of House Salamander. I definitely think he's above Ranjuro. I wouldn't say by much. Maybe in terms of power, he does have a big lead. But he's also probably a more tactical blader than Ranjuro is. He is also a bit more overconfident, which is a weakness. But I would still say overall he is a better blader than Ranjuro is. Because obviously the way I try and do this is if they had a one-on-one. And if these two had a one-on-one, well, I do think Ranjuro could win and would put up a fight. I don't think he would withstand, you know, Suo's special moves, because they do pack a punch. So I am going to put him in B tier above Ranjuro. Xavier, I'm going to put with Hyde and Luban in A tier. Again, if you rewatch the anime, he helped Eigen train before Phi, or for Phi, and he was, you know, pushing Eigen. You know, he was pushing him to his limits. Eigen had to try and beat him, which was the same as Luban. So he's definitely ahead of Hyde. I definitely think that he could beat Hyde more often than not. Is he on the same level as Luban or Luban? I don't know his name, or I can't say it properly, whichever one it is. I'd say in terms of raw power, I would probably give Xavier the edge, because as we know in the anime, the dagger frame does bump his power up a lot. So I would say that he does have a power edge. However, I do think Luban's gimmick for Vice Leopard, where, you know, he chomps down, I do think that would counter Xavier's gimmick of, you know, the Excalibur's gimmick of lining up. You know what I mean, when it clicks and, you know, everything lines up to deal just one huge point of damage. So I'm going to put Luban ahead of Xavier, because I do think that he is overall a bit better. Maybe not as powerful, but I think he's probably a bit smarter. His Bay is more versatile, and as we've seen in the anime, actually this is my one and only good point, he doesn't, or at least Vice Leopard doesn't have as big of a stamina issue as Buster Excalibur does when he goes into his Buster mode, which we've seen is quite a big issue, which is what Ranjuro took advantage of in his battle. So if Ranjuro could do it and nearly win, Vice Leopard and Luban would definitely take advantage of it. So yeah, I'm keeping him there. This guy, in fact, both of these guys, they were only in one battle for the anime. So these guys are going to have, I don't know, but no one cares about these two anyway, so it's fine. I think this guy's Count Nightfell, I think. He has Right Eclipse. yeah, he was in the battle against Eigen when he had Z Achilles, and he had Dead Hades' combo, 11 turn Zephyr Dash. And honestly, he's probably C tier. He did put up a decent fight against Eigen. He's definitely above Heigen, the Archer guy, whatever. Is he ahead of Kyle? I'd probably say no. There's not really not much to say about this guy. He's only in one battle, so yeah. Same with this guy. I forgot his name. The doctor guy, whatever. He was only in he was in 2 battles, and he lost against Ranjiro. No, sorry, he won against Ranjiro, but lost against Eigen. I don't really know about this guy. This guy's more difficult to rank because he didn't do anything. His base just sat there and took everything. He can't attack. So his strategy is literally, if he can't counter the attack, he loses because he can't dodge it. So I'm going to put him below these two. Even though he probably is a smarter blader than these two, the fact that his bay limits his options to the point where he can't move, then he's definitely there. 3 is definitely minimum A tier, ahead of all of these guys. He definitely put up a very good fight against Fi, and in my last video I said that if he had taken Shoe's place and fought him second, I think that he could have had a very good chance to win. I still stand by that fact, obviously, because of the anime and how the plot armor works. Fi had to win, and I agree, Fi would win, but I do think that 3 definitely would do better than he did. I'm gonna put him in A tier because I don't think he has the power and such a stupid feats that the Blades in S tier have, but he's definitely above all of these guys for sure. And speaking about Fi, he's up next, and he's easily S. Again, I'm not going to stick on this guy for long because there's no point. We all know Fi. He's stupid powerful. His bay is stupid good. He has loads of special moves. He's definitely S tier. I don't really need to talk about him anymore. Here's a guy that I would love to talk about, Toko. I love this guy. I really like Toko's character. I love the fact that he uses a God Series bay, when everyone else uses a Cho-z bay. If you were going off just, Blader and not taking Bay into account, and not taking power into account, he would probably be A or even S. But because we are taking Bay and power into account, he's definitely knocked down a few. He's probably one of the smartest bladers on this whole ranking, or in the series. He knew that his Bay could only take so much punishment. In the battle royale, he won it purely because he played it smart, and he knew that he wasn't powerful enough to take on the majority of the other bladers at full power. So he played it smart and stayed out of the way. So power wise, he's not that powerful. In fact, I would go as far to say for the Cho-z series, he's probably just below average in terms of power. But for smarts, he's really smart. His Bay is just a better version of Drain Fafnir in the anime, where he can just absorb the spin of opposing Bays and dampen. He literally has a mixture of Fafnir's and Kyle's ability in one Bay. So he has one of the best gimmicks in a Bay. He just was unlucky to only have a God Series Bay. If this guy had a Cho-z era Bay, I would probably put him at high B tier, and if he was powerful, low A tier. But because he doesn't have that much power and he does use an older Bay, then I think he's definitely high C. However, I am going to put him ahead of... It hurts me to do this. It really hurts me to do this. But I'm probably going to put him... Actually, yeah. I'm going to put him high C because he did, still spar with Eigen when Eigen was having his Dark Resonance tantrum. And, that's a lot of power. So I'm going to put him in high C. Volt is an easy one. He's going in S. Yeah, moving on. Fubuki. Fubuki is in he's obviously in the same boat as these guys. I'd say Emperor Fornius as a Bay is worse than Crash Ragnarok and Hell Salamander. Fubuki's a Blader. It's kind of a mixture between these two. He's a bit more powerful than Ranjuro, but he's a bit smarter than Suo. So I would probably say he's... I actually think he's the... I'm going to put him the lowest. I'm probably... If you want to argue with me, please comment and I will argue with you. Because I don't think... In my personal opinion, I do think these guys are just slightly better. Louis, trash. Shu, yeah, there's not really much to say about Shu. He pretty much got treated the same as Free did in the anime. He was shown to be powerful. He was powerful. The evolution of his Bay was really cool, but he just lost to the main villain, which I still think was a good thing. Like, he shouldn't win, and he definitely put up a really good fight. They did Shu a lot better than they did Free, in my opinion. So, yeah, I'll probably say this. Kit, he wasn't in many battles. In fact, he only versed like 3 or 2 different people. And that was Eigen and Volt. And if he had played it smart, he would have become world champion. He would have beat Volt. He would have beat Volt, sorry, if he had just not gone in for that stupid attack. But he did go in for that stupid attack. Volt won. He's definitely A tier. Kit is kind of like, he's really dumb, but he's got a lot of power. His Bay has a lot of stamina, and he did take 2 points off Volt, which I don't see Hyde doing. I don't see Xavier or Luban doing, but I would be very hesitant to put Kit above Free and Shu, and he's definitely not on the same level as these guys, because obviously Volt, at the end of the season, got loads more powerful than he did when he versed Kit, because of the evolution that Valkyrie went through. So yeah, that's it. That's all the characters. You know what? I'm not going to change any around. If you want to argue with me, argue with me. I want to stick to this. Yeah, Louis trash in the anime. He got did dirty. He got, yeah, they just did him so dirty in the anime. Yeah, Volt. I give these 3. Volt and Eiger are kind of interchangeable. I would admit that Eiger definitely does have more raw power, and probably more overall potential. But Volt is the more experienced, and he's also the smarter Blader out the 2. Same with Shu and Free. These 2 are interchangeable. But Shu's Bay is a little bit more versatile and can counter Fafnir's gimmick. So, you know, he naturally goes there. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say. That's pretty much it. Yeah, like I said before, you guys seem to like the first 2 I did. So let's see what you think of this one. Am I close with this one? Let me know. I promise that my next video will not take 2 months or over 2 months, like this one did. It will be like half that time at maximum. But yeah, thanks you guys so much for watching, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Yeah, because it's been a while since I've done this, so yeah, bye.